who is going up against Muzzy. And Firebat with an unconventional lineup, to say the least. He's got Reno Mage and he's got Highlander Zoo. And of the two decks that I expected him to protect, maybe Druid or Warrior, he chose neither and instead protected the Reno Mage. And now he's going to have Reno Mage available to him. TJ, the mind games that are set up through Conquest Shield, they're pretty interesting to watch it when it shakes down, because Reno Mage was one of the last decks I would have protected if I was Firebat.
Well, so the shield phase is very interesting because wait a second.
Wait, what is happening on camera? First of all, Muzzy last week in week 1 of Grandmasters brought out the Muzz stash.
No more analysis.
Then Firebat sees this, recognizing that Muzzy is capturing all the mustache fan base.
Dan.
Realizes he needed to cash in on this.
Dan, what are we going to call him?
Well, second of all,
The
Firebat,
the fire stash?
the shirt combination. He's appealing to you, TJ, through the mustache. He's appealing to me through the pineapples. I mean, he's just winning. He knows exactly what to do. This guy has grown up so much. When I first met him when he was 18 years old, winning the world championship, he understands branding.
I just wish
sipping
that
on his Red Bull, sipping the water.
I just wish we had the technology to put a side-by-side comparison of when Firebat won the world championships to this picture of him now.
Yeah.
Where will Firebat be in 5 years? This is him now.
And he looks like he's retired already.
You won't believe it.
Well, it seems like Firebat's already in vacation mode, taking it easy. Or perhaps trying to land a role in Hot Fuzz, the sequel, Electric Boogaloo.
Well, Muzzy was saying that he can't shave the mustache because he just keeps winning. Maybe Firebat is trying to
Get on his level.
Yeah, get on his level in the battle of the stash.
Love it.
Hey, I got you, friend.
It's the Bat Stash. Also, Firebat told me that he's really into trying to make chat do copy pastas a lot of time with spam stuff. I'm sure they'll figure out something, whether it's shirt, mustache, or just general bat-related stuff. In the meantime, we have Zoo Warlock up against the Priest to start things off, so no Reno Mages. Muzzy on the train of protecting Priest and playing Priest. Game number 1. Looks like he's in that same camp as you, TJ.
Yeah, Bloodyface did the same thing, and worked out for him. Muzzy's, obviously his list is different. The Beaming Sidekick, I think this is my favorite addition to the deck. Muzzy is playing the Wamsamdi Priest, which I've been... If you tuned in at all, you probably heard me say it at least twice. I think this Priest list is just the good stuff. It's the nuts. 1 extra arms, just for a little bit of buff. You know, give me some game history.
The Highlander Zoo with the one-ups of a bunch of stuff really starting to hurt here, just because there isn't that consistency of the one-drops that you usually would like to get.
Yeah, it's funny, we didn't even talk about the decks at all because we were too distracted.
We mentioned it was Highlander Zoo.
We mentioned it was Highlander Zoo, but we didn't talk about Highlander Zoo in its entirety. I guess we talked about it a little bit yesterday, even though I don't think we even saw it.
No, Bloodyface had it in his lineup. He didn't play it yesterday or today. Firebat planned the Highlander Zoo. So the concept behind Highlander Zoo is that Zoo Warlocks do a really good job winning the board, but sometimes just doesn't have the right answer in board clear and game-ending damage, which happens to be the best 2 things that Zephyrs does. Zephyrs is not super good at development because it offers you just the same thing like Tyrion or like an Animal Companion. Zephyrus is sometimes a little inconsistent with spot removal, like you need Polymorph versus Shadow Word Death versus, other things. But one thing Zephyrus is just super good at is clearing the board at 10 mana, or also like getting that Fireball or Savage quickly.
Yeah, it can help solidify board states too. If you're like, I'm weak to this very specific AoE, get Solar Force.
Great.
I have a wide board state. I need Bloodluster Saboteur to end the game. Boom, done. So it kind of shores up the weaknesses of Zoo, and I can't remember if it was, it must have been Bloody Face yesterday, but he said that there's so many 1-drops that you want to play anyway in Zoo that you're cutting 1-drops in the standard Zoo Warlock anyway.
Yeah.
So just play 1 copy of each, sacrifice a little bit of power in the mid game with consistency in order to make room for a card that can bail you out of a situation that Zoo Warlock in the past would pretty much 100% lose from. So
I didn't listen to a single word you said, TJ, because Firebat was leaning over to check on maybe
trying to get a glimpse,
and I just realized that his shirt was buttoned down exactly to the place it should be. Firebat doing his part. People always say, you know what, Hearthstone nerds, they could use, you know, a little bit of some makeover, you know, trying to care a little bit more. We're adding some sex appeal to Hearthstone Grandmasters, and Firebat's doing his part. Muzzy's doing his part. What are you doing at home, is what I ask you.
Me or them?
Well, are you at home?
No, but I could be at home.
What are you at home doing?
Oh, you said, what are you doing at home?
Well, that's none of my business. I don't want to know. Muzzy with the extra arms, Divine Spirit. He essentially has a minion remover in the form of the injured Blade Master. Firebat probably just wants to force Muzzy to be on cleanup duty. He can use these one-mana minions to clean up the whelp. By doing so, makes Muzzy keep trading until he draws the Inner Fire.
Yep.
That being said, hadn't Muzzy drawn Inner Fire, the game would have been over. Psycho Palm.
Oh, that's a good pickup. I mean, he's got 1 injured Blade Master and 2 injured Tolvirs in the death pool. The problem is he also has a beaming sidekick and now 2 whelps. So
50-50.
Yeah, a little inconsistent, and I think he has very big hits, but also very big whips.
No, and this is where the moment Firebat draws Zephyrus, he's in a really good spot because he just drains the priest out of resources. Tiamat can act as removal too, through a Rush and a Divine Shield, or a Rush and a Wind Fury, or a Divine Shield Wind Fury. All kinds of combinations here. The idea is to shut down the card draw for the Acolyte of Pain. And because Injured Blade Master's down to 12 health, Muzzy doesn't have that lethal setup anymore with Inner Fire.
Yeah.
Whew. High Priest of Met in the Power Word Shield.
Power Word Shield, a heal and an Inner Fire would be a lot of damage. But Psycho Palm gonna try and hit something good, not a whelp. Ooh, beaming sidekick. Not the best, not the best.
Yeah. It was a 50-50 for Muzzy. Topsy-turvy. He could hit Topsy-turvy is kept in the back pocket as surprise burst. Interesting that Muzzy prioritized playing Psycho Palm but not the High Priest of Met. I actually anticipate him to play a Met and then eventually play Psycho Palm to develop more later.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much he's vulnerable from. Obviously Zephyrus, but that's not like the most massive punish. Because Firebat would want to be pushing for lethal, and that's good.
It's a big time draw.
Yeah, it is getting him quite low though. He's going all the way down to 17. But this injured Blade Master has been damaged enough to where it's not that big of a deal outside of like Circle of Healing plus another health drop. So a very wide board for Firebat, and Muzzy also getting quite low with a pretty threatening board, honestly. Ooh.
Inner Fire's not really needed, though.
It's not.
He already had the form of it through Topsy-Turvy, so Muzzy needs to, once again, figure out if he wants to be trading or wants to be pushing. There is 1, 2, plus 3, 5, plus another 3, 8, 10, 13, 14 damage on the board from left to right. He's at 17. Leroy's already been used.
Soulfire's been used.
Soulfire's been used.
There's
it would be Zephyrus lethal. And Firebat's been holding on to Evil Recruiter for a while.
Zephyrus lethal or Grim Rally or a combination of a couple things like Evil Genius plus something.
Oh, I like this. If you kill and respawn, it goes back to 7 HP.
Got you, friend.
Muzzy on cleanup patrol. This injured Blade Master. Injured Blade Master has done his fair share of the work this game, I'd say. Everybody else needs to pick up their slack. I'd like to offer a salute in chat for this injured Blade Master. 07.
Unity, precision.
If this was StarCraft, his kill count, I wish you could see the kill count of this minion, DJ.
It's a lot.
That thing's been alive since the beginning of this game.
It's a lot.
Upgrade that thing to a sergeant.
Oh, Psycho Pump! Firebat had the option to kill the High Priest I met.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Nutty draw. Firebat knows that was one of the only outs here for Muzzy that were good. Could have also obviously gotten the Northshire Cleric, which would have been even potentially better had it drawn to Psycho Pump, but
yeah.
It doesn't really get much better than what Muzzy just drew.
I mean, this priest deck from Muzzy is more minion heavy than the normal priest deck. It cuts like 0 drops and a copy of extra arms to make room for Bwomsamdi and additional 1 drops.
It's true.
So I understand Firebat's reasoning. He's saying, well, off the top, a single minion that you would play would not be that impactful, and most of the time you're drawing a spell anyway.
Wow, there is some gas. Hold on. So if we bump the 1/3 and then Grim Rally, probably want to Argus first.
Positioning is kind of weird for Argus right now.
Yeah, I think the way it was positioned was, well, first of all, you couldn't really control where the Blood Scalp Strategist is. That being in the middle is annoying, but I think Firebat was accounting for the possibility of Direwolf Alpha.
He's just trying to keep as many things alive as possible with this play, it looks like.
Okay. I thought about bumping with the Crystallizer first, because then it becomes a 1/1, and then you sacrifice it, but then you can't defender the cheaper minions. This helps him push past the Reborn minion. But still scary with High Priest Met.
Still scary, yeah, but Muzzy's drawing 1 card a turn unless it's Northshire Cleric. And Firebat has 2 outs for Zephyrus because he has a Sandbinder in his deck as well.
You're right, and he draws 2 cards.
And he draws 2 cards.
This is where the Warlock Hero Power gets to truly shine.
Yeah, and he's very healthy right now at 21. So honestly, he could even take like a hit from a big minion before things got a little out of control.
I wonder if Muzzy wants to heal himself or heal a minion here. There's 10 damage on the board. If your opponent draws Zephyrus, you're dead anyways. Is there anything else to consider when Firebat is playing the Zoo Warlock?
Shouldn't he have healed his his Amet first?
Well, if he wants to heal, say, his Psychopomp instead.
Yeah.
Must consider.
I was first thinking about whether or not Muzzy wanted to heal himself, but he's dead either way to Zephyrus.
Yep.
If he heals Amet now, then it is in this sequence.
It would have been 1 wasted heal because it was only damaged by 1. So it would have had a 2 extra health on Amet if he had played Divine Spirit afterwards. Voidwalker, I mean, that takes a hit.
Put this apple on your head.
Why do you call?
All face. All face. Not missing that damage in case you draw that Zephyrus.
Yeah, also, Muzzy doesn't have any like board-wide clears with 1 card draw. So at 4 health, Muzzy has to make a lot of trades here.
And he will be alive by 1 HP, it looks like.
Yeah, but, I mean, there's still some things left in the deck that can kill him.
Yeah,
Evil Genius into something.
A knife juggle.
There's not that many things. He also has an
A juggle to determine the winner of this situation. A 1 in 4.
potentially 2 minions.
Two juggles. Misses. One more. Muzzy's eyes are wide open. Which stash will prevail?
Ooh.
Face and face. There's no way for him to get punished outside of inner fire number 2.
Even then, it's not. Oh yeah, inner fire number 2. What's the draw? Bwansamdi.
Oh wow, TJ. Bwasamni is so good.
Not here.
Okay, so now
Not when you're gonna die.
Yeah. Well,
Actually,
I
because
mean,
this is gonna draw clerics, but he has to heal his face. It also gets him closer.
it puts Firebat on the next draw to win.
Yes.
And yeah, it gets him closer to the inner fire. That's a lot of 1-drops. Oof. All right.
Oh
so,
no, the Mecharoo! So he has to kill the Knife Juggler first?
Yeah, you kill.
No, you don't kill Mecharoo at all.
You just kill the 3/4, the 2/2, and then you go face.
And you have to heal your face.
Yes, and you have to heal yourself. And Firebat has 2 draws.
Sandbinder or Zephyrus or Evil Genius into something. Abusive Sergeant!
Ooh, off the top, Muzzy can't look. The power of pineapple compels you.
I mean, he had a good amount of outs there, right?
Yeah, he had Sandbinder, Zephyrus itself, Abusive Sergeant. Is there anything else?
Evil Genius.
Evil Genius, which is basically an out.
He would
So
have.
4 out of 9 draws, but he also draws twice.
Yeah, he draws twice. Like Evil Genius could pick up. There we go.
And there's Firebat 2014 versus the present day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, only 90s kids will remember this.
He actually hasn't changed at all except for the mustache.
What are you talking about?
Look, even his hair is
He used
exactly
to
the
wear
same.
cargo shorts.
His hair is even exactly the same, nearly.
His eyes have gotten bluer somehow. I don't know how. He has Firebat has
Lighting.
beautiful.
It's all
eyes.
about lighting.
It's the shirt. It brings it
does.
out.
Yeah.
It lights up the face.
Yeah, the pop of yellow as well with the pineapples gives you just a little more color
Yeah.
in your eyes.
Good job, production. That's game 1 of this series. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, more pineapple action here. The Hearthstone Grandmasters for Americans.
My name is Sam Braithwaite, and I'm the Senior Global Franchise Lead for Hearthstone Esports. This event was especially cool because it takes place right after the brand new expansion, Rise of Shadows. Historically in Hearthstone Esports, we do our big events like this towards the end of an expansion cycle, but we really wanted to shake things up and really showcase that not only is the world champion the person who can pilot the best decks, but also the person who, when presented with a brand new game, can put together the best decks leading into the world championship. Cheers to you guys, the sold out crowd here for the HCT 2019 World Championship.
Welcome back to 2019 HCT World Championship.
We've had a lot of fun games, and we're looking forward to the grand finals. Showdown. Viper versus Hunter Ace. Only one can be the champion. Oh, come on!
Alex, we dead?
Wacko pick a vase coming out from Hunter Ace.
It's now or never. Archvillain reform.
Okay! in a completely solved game. Hunter finds a way to maximize his chances. It's been a wonderful journey throughout the past few years of the Hearthstone Championship Tour, where stars were made and dreams came true.
Hearthstone Esports is home to many competitive formats, each with their own unique variants and rules. Today, we're going to break down one of them, the Shield Phase Conquest format. And here's how it works. To start, both players bring 4 decks, each from a unique class. The match starts with a Shield Phase. This is where both players choose one of their own decks to protect, making it ineligible to be banned. Once the Protect phase has ended, both players will then ban one of their opponent's decks, removing it from the pool. Each player then selects which of their remaining decks they would like to play first, before beginning the first game of the series. When the first game of the series is over, the winner's deck is removed from their pool of eligible decks. Both players then select the next deck they would like to play. The loser of the first game can choose to replay with the deck they lost with, or they can choose one of their other 2 available decks. In Best of 3 conquests, the first player to 2 wins is the victor. In Best of 5 series, such as those in the semifinals or finals of major events, the first player that makes it to 3 wins takes the W. It's that easy. Shield Phase Conquest allows players to showcase their skill set across different classes, while still giving them the opportunity to play the deck they're most confident with. Now that you've got the download on Shield Phase Conquest, we wish you well on your deck building adventures.
Firebat versus Muzzy. It was continuing as currently Firebat's up 1-0 over the Mustache. It's been quite the epic battle of legendary proportions with facial hair on the line. TJ would know. I'm still working on mine. It's been about a day and a half of this.
Yeah, and Dan has a dangerous, destructive weapon at his disposal.
My
because,
mind.
No. Because Dan and I last
My
week had a
intelligence?
conversation about facial hair when we first saw the mustache, and I revealed to him that over our break between Grandmasters, I had shaved off my beard completely.
Yes.
I look
black-
very weird, and my wife, who thinks it's the funniest thing in the world when I shave my beard completely,
It's the second funniest.
decided to send Dan the picture. So now he has that. So I'm just waiting for him to unleash it at the right moment.
TJ, it's the second funniest thing in the world. The funniest thing in the world is watching you squirm knowing that I have it.
Knowing that you have it. You may never unleash it, but just knowing that you have it.
No, I can't give up my power.
Yeah.
Once I reveal what TJ looks like without without his facial hair, then we go back to being equals.
Wait, what do I have right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. I don't have anything.
I have the most important thing that money can buy, leverage.
Yep, you do. Fortunately for me, and it's my wife's doing, which is so bittersweet.
TJ shaking his vow, he said. Damn, it did say till death do us.
No, not too upset about it. I laughed as well.
It was. To be fair, I think if we just posted that picture, people wouldn't even know it was you. That's part of the reason why it's funny, because it just doesn't, like, I didn't even think that was you at first.
Yeah, I'm just going to deny it. You're going to post a picture, people are like, that's not TJ. I'm like, yeah,
All
that's definitely not TJ.
Immediately in my Twitter DMs, that's right, your wife's in my DMs, TJ, was a picture of some white man, adult male holding a baby.
Holding my baby?
Yeah, and I'm like, who has your baby?
How did he get him?
I'm like, why would someone break into TJ's house
and
sit on his couch and take a picture with his baby and that's it?
Yeah, weird.
Like, wait! TJ.
None of this adds up.
That's when I wish I had a mustache, because then it can zoom in as I twirl it menacingly.
Enhance. How about a game going on? Firebat opting to hold on to Voodoo Doll here on turn 3. Very crucial removal tool. Also vulnerable to silence because he would have just played Voodoo Doll and hoped that it survived enough to kill this injured Blade Master.
Yeah, definitely. It's a repeat of the previous game. Injured Blade Master got one job and one job only. You are the janitor.
Yep.
Cleaning up after all the messes Firebat creates on the board. You know, it's funny because I think Muzzy and Firebat have a really good dynamic between them. One's the good cop, the other's the bad cop.
We'll let you use your imagination at home to decide which is which.
Yeah.
Spellbender, fantastic.
Yes, you know that extra arms is played.
And I mean, most of the spells in the deck are targeted spells, right? And they're all high impact. Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, Topsy-Turvy, extra arms, Power Word Shield.
Well, sees that it's not splitting image.
And also does not want to silence his injured Blade Master. So looks like just a check for Mirror Entity.
Yep, sees it's not Mirror Entity.
So now can narrow it down to Flame Ward, Vaporize, Spellbender, and Counterspell. Not much in the ways of process of elimination there. But now has a decent target to check for Spellbender. Silencing the Ziliax is okay.
The end begins. Life is an afterthought.
All right, well, there's only 2 minions that died. There's the Ritualist or the Acolyte of Pain.
Would much prefer the Acolyte of Pain, I'm sure.
Very much so. I think the card draw is really important. Has not attacked the face, so still is not aware of what it is or is not. But with Topsy-Turvy, you can test for the counter spell.
Yeah.
And the Spellbender. So if I'm Firebat, thinking about this Arcane Keysmith and what he can get me. Ooh, Flame Ward to set up for a Flame Strike. Seems like it is Flame Ward indeed. So Flame Ward and Spellbender, the 2 secrets up for Firebat. And this forces Muzzy to test everything again. Muzzy can test immediately for the splitting image off the 2/2 trade. But I think Muzzy is also contemplating Vaporize.
Yeah, this is honestly really tough.
And I mean,
because the secrets punish you in different ways, right? Especially Vaporize and Flame Ward, because they both take the same test to go for them. But Flame Ward incentivizes you to attack with your biggest thing that will die to Flame Ward, and Vaporize incentivizes you to attack with your smallest thing. So it's kind of an interesting conundrum there, especially with randomly generated secrets, because nobody puts Vaporize in their deck, let's be real.
testing for the counter spell / the Spellbender with the Topsy-Turvy, and he's going to see it.
Yeah, the problem with the Topsy-Turvy on as a test for Spellbender is you put a 3/1 on your opponent's board.
He does have a Wild Pyromancer.
Yep.
Wild Pyromancer, more arms, heal, push.
Yeah, this was pretty nicely done from Muzzy.
Except it still lines up to Flame Strike and a few other things. The Reno Mage just clearing.
Oh, Zephyrus too picked up.
Draining the priest out of resources.
Yeah. But there's a card in Muzzy's deck that can replenish all those resources and then some, Dan.
Octosar.
Bomb Somdi!
Job done.
Flashback to the raunchy animation. Firebat can just start picking up initiative too. The moment things stabilize, you can play Power of Creation.
I mean, he's got ways to stabilize.
Boy.
Oh.
So Zephyrus gives you Siphon Soul.
Yes, and then it survives, so you barista it.
Yes, but not before you play Voodoo Doll.
Yeah.
I mean, Reno just looks like it turns into a control deck instead of the weird combo control it was before.
Yeah. Oh, it's going for power of creation here.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
What?
Firebat is asserting dominance. His Burt Reynolds cosplay in full form. But if Firebat, if Muzzy picks up heal, he's dead. He's dead. No.
No,
How much life is this at?
He's
7?
18. This
Oh, okay. I thought it could heal up beyond 9. If he gained any buff, he would die. Like Powered Shield.
Yes.
Oof. Scary. That is some.
2 damage off lethal.
He's still going for it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you kind of have to.
Oh, man. That is some danger zone.
It's danger zone, but honestly, this priest deck, one thing it struggles with is closing out a game that you have no minions left, because it has 0, that's right, Dan, 0 direct damage. There is
You put a lot of emphasis in
there is not a single way that you can take anything from your deck and turn it into a way that can target your opponent's face to kill them.
Well, Firebat targeting the Voodoo Doll with Conjurer's Calling. Gonna build up the board. This is a 2-turn lethal setup for Firebat. Oh, interesting. Zephyr's at the very end. What is that? Just throw it on there. Why not? Set up for the lethal.
Yeah. This one is Dunzo.
Yeah, I mean, Muzzy, seeing that Firebat has the board, already kind of knows that he's in big trouble. But this is icing on the cake. And for today, the power of the pineapple prevails.
I think we will remember the Battle of the Stashes for some time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This goes
very
down.
closely followed by the Battle of the Bulge.
I don't remember which Hearthstone match that was.
Every Hearthstone match for me, TJ.
Me versus you in Taiwan at the All-Stars of 2018?
Sure.
That had to be it.
Yeah.
Had to be it. I was in a very tight jacket that match.
Were you?
I was.
I remember.
Yeah, because you carried me. Physically.
As usual.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well done by Firebat. 2-0. 2-0 all around. Our 5th 2-0.
With 2 Highlander decks.
With 2 Highlander decks, with Reno Mage nonetheless. Let's go ahead and check in with Firebat. Or is it Firebat? Who's actually there on the other line?
What's up? How's it going? Yeah, this is Firebat. Who else would I be?
We went through, well, first of all, it was great outfit, but we weren't sure if it was a Reno Jackson cosplay, if you were Burt Reynolds in some Benjamin Button reverse aging process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Did Muzzy shave his mustache?
No.
Oh, okay.
Of course not. But now he has to. Now he has to, right?
Yeah, you win, and then your opponent next week has to grow a mustache, and then it has to continue.
Well, it makes sense. He's playing Highlander decks. There can only be one, and there can only be one guy with the mustache. We need a hashtag shave the mustache, Muzz. But anyways, Firebat, talk to us a little bit about it. Highlander Zoo, Highlander Mage, aka Reno Mage. Looked like it worked out really nicely for you.
Mm-hmm. I think people had a big knee-jerk reaction to the mage nerfs, so everyone was just immediately like, "Mage sucks, nobody play it." It's one of the least played classes on HS Replay now. Like no one is playing mage, and actually, I feel like mage is still quite good. I think against all the aggressive decks, I think that people were kind of baited into keeping Pocket Galaxy in the mulligan when it was 5, when really you just want your defensive tools against aggro anyway. So I don't think that nerf hurt the matchups against aggro. I think the deck is still just really strong against aggro. Reno and Zephyrs are both insane versus aggressive decks, so it has its wins there. And versus Warrior, that's where the Pocket Galaxy really shines. It doesn't matter if it costs 7. So I think Mage is pretty cool. Although I do want to highlight, it does not beat Priest. I got very fortunate in panouts with the games against Muzzy there. I think Reno Zoo has a really good, solid matchup versus Priest. Like, it's not a super favorite by any means, but it's pretty all right. you're just having that extra wild card of the Zephyrs to be able to deal with their normally undealable stuff, like the big minions and whatnot, is really good. But yeah, I think my deck's kind of overperformed versus the Priest. He just didn't have Cleric or Light Warden on one, or even like the Beaming Sidekick or anything. He's running an extra 1-drop heavy deck, and he couldn't win the board early, so I was able to, squeak by with some good fortune there.
Got it. We were talking a little bit on Omnistone, how you felt like you're trying to get ahead of the meta. Now that you've kind of seen half the weekend shake up in terms of people's lineups playing out, do you feel more or less or about the same amount of confidence for your second match going up against Eddie?
More confident. I think my decks are much more well positioned versus Eddie than they are versus Muzzy. Eddie was on the train which I was hoping people would be on, which is the train of thought where you ignore Mage completely because no one's going to bring it because it sucks now. And Muzzy still had the Priest in his lineup, so he had a little bit of respect towards the Mage. But Eddie has got no respect for the Mage, so the Mage is going to crush him. So I feel pretty good about that. As well, I feel like King Ferris is overrated garbage. So
Whoa!
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy I don't have him in my Druid deck where everyone else has had him in their Druid deck. A lot of people, it's clunky and awkward and gets stuck in your hand. It's a 10-drop that doesn't do anything immediately, and you don't need that much gas, man. These people, they're playing it and they're losing versus Warrior even with King Ferris in their deck because you're trying to outvalue Warrior. Like, why would you go to Warrior's home and try and do its thing better than it? You got to take it out of its comfort zone, bring it to your home, and then beat it up. So I like the tempo-oriented Druid.
Great. I hope we're still talking about Hearthstone. we got a little far away from the analogy, but I was with you. Yeah. Firebat, we only have time for one last question, so I'll make this quick. Can you unbutton one more for us? Because I feel like you were doing great with the first two wins.
Dan works for Twitch, so
yeah,
you're okay.
Thank you. That one was just a fan service for me.
I felt like I needed to wear this. This is my Vegas shirt. So when I was partying in Vegas, this is my shirt I wore the whole week when I was walking around drinking. So I was like, I got the mustache. The Vegas shirt just completes the look. I don't know. It seemed like that I had to one-up Muzzy's mustache somehow. And my mustache isn't as good as Muzzy's, so the shirt maybe puts me at least on par.
Is that what he's gonna do? He's just gonna play against an opponent, but do their outfit and look, but better, and then just like one up them in game and out of game? That's pretty brutal, Firebat. Let him have something.
Well, I'm looking forward to his match against Just Saying then.
He's gonna be even quieter.
Hope you got some hair bleach handy there, Firebat.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, Firebat, congrats on your victory. Good luck tomorrow in your match with Eddie, and we'll see you next.